Good evening, everybody. I hope you all can hear me. Please, if you can hear me, just signal in the chat box. Okay. So I can see your thumbs up. Okay. So welcome to today's masterclass. And the topic for today's masterclass is, thanks, Omo, is building your income portfolio. And here with us is our speaker, Mata Omamegbe, and I'll be reading her profile. Okay? So Mata Omamegbe is a chartered forensic accountant with over 9 years work experience in the financial service industry. She has a BSc accounting from the University of Lagos and executive MBA from the prestigious Lagos Business School. She is very passionate about the benefits of having multiple streams of income, financial advisory, personal finance, and self-leadership. She has helped several clients generate ideas to start their businesses. Her professional expertise extends to the banking sector, consulting space, and capital markets, taking up various roles in marketing, financial accounting services, investigations, regulatory compliance, and audits. She has hands-on knowledge on how to start and run a successful business, training, and capacity development. Welcome, Mata. We are very delighted to have you today. Okay, so the floor is yours. Okay, Mata, you can start now.
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. It's good evening already.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to, okay. Yes, so good evening. And my name is Martha. Thank you, Mary Jane, for the introduction. I'm here to talk about building your income portfolio. And I'll just start with the presentation right now. So are you ready? Do you have your pen, your biro with you? Do you have your questions also? So I'd like to get questions as the presentation goes along to know what you want to, based on what I teach, where you have questions, where you need clarifications. And so please just drop it in the chat. Drop your questions in the chat for me and I'll see it. And after the presentation, we can talk about it. So following the introduction from Mary Jane, I'll just say that I also have a 9-to-5 job and I run an online hair business also. And based on what she had said, I'm a chartered accountant and I've been working for over 10 years currently. The important events, income streams available to you, investment options, finance terms to note, bonus, and I have a bonus also, which is wealth influencers. So I'll start with income generation cycle. And your income really starts with building wealth or multiplying your income streams, and also starts with your income. First of all, you need to earn something. So I would say that is a seed. What is your seed? You have to be either working or you are running a business, you're an entrepreneur. So I will just use like farming as an example. So you have the farmer and he has the seeds. So I would say your income is the seed. You're working and you've earned your salary and you're expected to have savings. We're taught to have savings all the time. So we'll say that the savings you have is like a farmer that knows he needs to plant and he has to gather seeds into like a bucket for the planting season. So that would be what your savings is. And investment is the science of making money with money, actually. So it's, so from the seeds you have to plant, you, for farming, so the land, let's just say that and everything goes back to income. So no matter what you're doing, it's a cycle. You income, you earn money, you save your money, and you also invest the money you have, and you also generate income. So there's a circle around it. So that's why I put up this slide to show that it's a event. So I believe that each and every one of us have savings. We are all supposed to have a savings. If you're earning an income, you're supposed to save. And if you're, can you just indicate in the chat that you save? Like, just say yes. Do you save? Actually, do you save a part of your income on a weekly, monthly, or daily basis? So just indicate in the chat. So I'd just like to see people's response. Okay, I can't get to the chat. Okay, so I believe that each and every one of us were all saving. So the question is, what do you do with your savings? Do you just save in the bank? Do you just say, okay, you have 30,000, you're saving 30,000 every month, and you continue putting it in the bank? What's the savings doing for you? What's the whole purpose of savings? So what I would like to ask is for you to question yourself, why are you saving in the first place? And what ratio of your income do you even save? So we are told that we should save at least 10% of our income on a monthly basis. So anything you're getting, not even on a monthly basis, based on when you earn. So there are some people that earn money daily, and based on what you earn, you're supposed to save a part of it. So I took a part of one of my favorite books, which is The Richest Man in Babylon, which says that a part of all you earn is yours to keep. So in talking about savings, what's really the end game or your savings? Just think about it. How much do you have saved in your account? And for how long have you even been saving? And thinking of time value of money. So like now, when you're talking about time value of money, and we look at the dollars, as it's January, February, the dollars was 360. And right now the dollars is going to 455. So that means if you had 360,000 in your account, and that could buy you $10,000, right now that can't get you $10,000 again. So that means your money has basically depreciated. So you also need to look at time value of money. And the question here is really about, what do you do with the savings? Do you just leave it in your account? Do you just leave it in your account? Do you let it work for you? Do you invest it? I know some of us have businesses, some of us work, and some of us also have our businesses. So, and I will also use myself as an example when I'm illustrating all of this. So, and in letting your money work for you, that's when I come about from savings. So you have your income and you have your savings. And in talking about building your income portfolio, it's really about having multiple streams of income. So I know most of us have been, with this COVID-19, there's been a lot of talk about monetizing your knowledge, creating a business, and a lot of people are confused. Like, what do? I don't know what I'm going to do. It's only my work I know. And when you look at it, monetizing your knowledge or having a business is actually just one stream of income. So there are actually 7 streams of income, which I've listed here. I'm showing this to you now. And you will see that even an average millionaire should have a minimum, or each person, each one of us should have a minimum of 7 income streams. That means when you're working, you should be earning money. Something else should bring you money continuously. It should be a continuous process of earning money. So if you look at Dangote now, we say he's a millionaire, but he's a billionaire, sorry. So he's a billionaire. And you look at how his income comes in. So you'll see that he has the sugar company, he has the cement company, Dangote Sugar, Dangote Cement, he has the noodles, he has pasta, he has the oil, and the oil is actually working on now, which is not even earning money yet. He has an oilage business. So no matter what happens in the economy, if people are not eating noodles, they're probably eating pasta, and they're eating this pasta, so it's getting money from that. So if you only have 1 or 2 streams of income, you need to start thinking about having multiple sources of income. So I will be explaining the different types of income and what you can do. So it's also about you assessing yourself and like, okay, from the 7, which of them, how many do I even have? So like I said, monetizing your business, monetizing your knowledge, and starting a business is just even one aspect. So I'll go through the 7 income streams I've listed here. And the first is income from paid employment. So I know most of us have our 9 to 5, we're working, and we're probably earning salaries. So that is one aspect of income being earned. And you have the profit income. So this is income from monetizing your knowledge, which I've spoken about, enhancing business opportunities, monetizing your passion. So you can actually start a business and run it. There are a lot of people that are running small businesses. So it's just like saying that there are lots of listed companies and companies that are doing very well. They are not listed. So like DSTV now, DSTV is making a lot of money, but they are not listed. So they're making profits. So you even need to understand how you want to scale it, what extent you want to let that business even grow in the first place. And that's when I'm also mentioned about, that's why I highlighted this, that making an income while many things for the society. And someone like Dangote, you could hear about what he's doing, because he has decided to open himself up to the society to be able to make an impact in Nigeria. So we also have the interest income. So this income from financial and capital market investments, such as treasury bills, mutual funds, evidence saving bonds, income from other investments like farm crowding and agro partnership. And I know that most of us, we've heard about investing in the stock market, investing in financial instruments. We've heard about this agro businesses that are coming up, agro partnerships and farm crowding, and where people that they have they want to grow, so the farming, the agri business is opening up where they need capital for them to plant the seeds and what they want to grow, and also to sell it, to export it and all of that. And they're asking people for funds. So they're gathering funds from you and I. So this is a means of income. So there's always a percentage. So like agro partnership now, I think early this year, they were giving about 3% for 9 months. They used to give about 30% for 7 months, or even 35%. So this is another means of you making money. It's you invest in their business, and over a period of time, you after the 9 months, they credit you with the interest on the amount invested, and you also have your seed capital back. We have the mutual funds, which is a collection of, so we have capital market operators doing this. So you are not investing on your own, you're investing collectively, and they tell you what interest rates is going to earn you. So it's all usually per annum. I'm going to share, I'm going to illustrate how this is broken down so that it's easy for you to understand. Then we have income from capital gains. So this is income from assets appreciating in value. So at the end of everything, we need to have assets that are generating income for us. So it's not really about saving and making an income and saving and just leaving the money in the bank, because looking at time value of money, the 1,000 you had yesterday is different from the 1,000 we're having tomorrow. So you need to plug out your savings into something. And we say that those are assets. So assets are things that really appreciate in value, that bring money into your account. So an example here is houses, land, and stocks. So we also have dividend income. So this is income generated from stocks owned. So by the time you invest in a company and you buy their stocks, their shares, and after a period, so usually the company makes a profit. And if they make a profit, they can declare dividends. So they can give you, that's like sharing out of the profits they have made over during the year to their shareholders. So if you have their shares, that means you're a shareholder in the company. So using UBA as an example, you buy the shares of UBA, which is a capital gains income, and you probably buy it at 5 Naira. And so it depends on the quantity of shares you buy. So you buy it at 5 Naira. And when they, at the end of the year, when they generate profits, they can declare that, okay, for every stock owned, you will get maybe 50 kobo as a shareholder. So once you multiply that 50 kobo with the quantity of shares you have bought, it's that's an income generation means for you. And we also have the rental income, which is income from houses rented. So like if you have invested in houses and land, in your land and building it up to a property building that you can rent out, you can generate income from that means also. So that's another means of franchise. You can have the name and someone you have your business set up in Lagos and someone in Abuja is interested in using your name. You can generate income from that. You can also, so like people that write books and their books are made into movies, they are paid royalty gains. So they have royalties from that. So I'd actually, if you look at it, 1, 2, 3, so that's end income, profit income, interest income, capital gains income are really, and probably dividend income are like the first stage of investments or incomes you need to generate first of all before going into the other two, that's rental income, because you need your assets, you need the land, you need the buildings before you can generate rental income. You need the stocks before you can generate dividend income, and you need to have something that someone can use your idea. So even if you have a business, you need to have your business first of all before someone can ask to use your business as a franchise. So 1 to 5 or 1 to 4 are really like the main things. So you need to assess yourself, looking at let's say looking at the 7 of them now and how you generate income. Where can you fit your income streams? Do you have, so looking at 7, just assess yourself. Are you generating income from 1, from 2, from 3? And this class is just to help you, it's just to create an awareness and to help you assess where you are and also being able to move to the next level. So with everything I'd explained, so you have the end income, which is your main source of income, which could be your salary as a 9 to 5, and also your income from your business. So if you're running a business, that could be your end income. And we'll say that a part of what you earn is yours to keep, which is the savings. So you have the savings, and the other, these last 3 are like the investments you need to make. So sometimes some people before you make an investment, so you need your income, you probably need the savings before you can get to the investment part, or you can divide your income into savings and investments. So there are some people that just drop a bucket and say, okay, I'm earning 100,000 and I want to save 20% for savings. So savings is 20%. So that means 20,000 is going into an account, and they want to put in 10% for investments, and they have 10,000 for investment. So breaking down your income streams, your income in that aspect helps you to focus on how you want your money to work for you. So I would be using, I have which is using myself now as an example, because I think it's not just about talk. Like,
she plans to save 20%, 60K in 3 months.
Major, can you answer the person talking?
I sent her a message. Hello, Habiba, please mute your mic.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you. So using myself as an example, I would say, okay, so I work and I earn 300,000 monthly, and I've decided to save 20% of what I earn. So that's 60,000 per month. And savings is really, in savings it's monthly, but sometimes you need a bigger pool for you to move. So that's why I talked about the farmer and the seed. So he has the income, the seed, but he needs a bucket to be able to go to the farm to plant for harvest time. So I use the 3 months. So if you look at this, I use the 3 months explanation here. Okay, so I think I changed some of the figures. So it's supposed to be 60. So that's going to be 180,000. And so that's what I've decided to be my income. And I would say profit income. So a lot of people think that for you to start a business, you need capital. And using myself, so I sell hair extensions. And when I started my business, I had so I'd always wanted good hair. And after bad experiences, I actually found someone in the US that was selling good hair, and I got from her. And by the time I was wearing it, a lot of my friends were also asking, oh, Martha, where did you get your hair from? Where did you get your hair from? And I was like, oh, at first I actually shared our contacts with them. But I was actually reading a book on making money, and a money book. I'll just say money book. And it was like, let your money work for you. So by the time I shared like to our contacts to like 2-3 people, I was like, okay, Martha, why don't you ask her? She sells on wholesale, so she has an wholesale price, and she also has the retail price. Why don't you ask her that, okay, if I know that Brenda wants to buy extensions and it's probably, so I use an example here. So if the retail price is 14,000 and my lady in the US actually can wholesale it to me at 11,000, why do I need to share? I can get the spread from it, and I do not even need to stock the hair. I could just say, okay, Brenda wants extensions. How many packs will she need? 3 packs, 4 packs. And I place the order, and the lady sends it down to me. And once she sends it, so Brenda has paid me already, because I told Brenda that, oh, I'm getting it from the US for you. And she has paid me already. And the spread, which is about 3,000. So if you look at the spread here, so it's profit per pack is 3,000. So that means I'm making a 27% profit just selling the packs to being the middleman per se. I didn't use my own money. I used Brenda's money to invest in to make the purchase, and I get 3,000. So if I make a monthly goal to say, let me sell 10 packs a month. So in a month, I'm making 30,000 from selling, from being a middleman to the lady in the US, the customer and the lady in the US. I'm making 30,000, not with my own money, but just an income stream for me. And that's why I'm like, it's not really about, so when you're thinking about what to do, which business to do, sometimes you don't need to think too much. It's just like what is around you and what can you help people, what can you provide to people around you. So it's, and selling is really about value. So I'm giving you value for, you need something and I'm being able to give you value in exchange for money. Really, that is what it is. And so the next one is interest income. So I have my salary, my income, my savings, which is 120,000, and I have this interest income. So I want to earn interest income now, and I look and say, okay, where can I put my money in? So I look at mutual funds. So mutual funds is giving me an interest rate of 10% per annum, and I said, okay, let me invest 72,000 of my, either my savings or the money I've set aside in my investment buckets. So I'll say, okay, let me put in 72,000 into my mutual fund. So looking at like interest income, I put in 72,000 into it. And intent for, at the end of the year, 10% is 7,200. So for mutual funds, usually on quarterly basis. So at the end of one quarter, I have 1,800 at the end of the quarter. In the full year, it is 7,200. But at the end of the quarter, I have 1,800. It might seem small, 1,800, but you just think about it as 10%. So I want you that when you're thinking about making money and the profit you're getting from what you're doing, look at it from a percentage point of view. Don't look at it from just the figure itself. So if I look at 1,800, it's probably small, but it's a 10% interest that I'm getting from my own investment. So if I wanted to increase, I could put in more money for my savings or for my investment business, which has about 30% per annum. That's a medium to high risk investment. So also you need to even understand your investment risk, your risk appetite. Can 10% is 10, if 10% is fine for me, I'm good with it. If 30% is fine, then that means I know that if I'm investing in the agribusiness, it's a medium to high risk. And I know the implications investing in that business, understanding what is the implications investing in that business. And also, whenever you're thinking about investments, you should also think of the safety of your capital. Let your capital, think about the safety of your capital. It's not just about, so like the people that putting money into MMM, they lost both the capital and even the promised returns they were supposed to get. So you need to think of the, so you need to think of the, you need to set a threshold and think of preserving your capital. Then I'll talk about capital gains income. So capital gains income is you generating income from an asset that you have. And one of the assets we have is stock, the easiest one right now, because another example is real estate, but you know how real estate is. So something like it's the stock market you can think about. And I used buying MTN shares as an example. So I used March as an example. So at 16th March, the MTN shares were selling at 93.10 kobo. And I could say, okay, the price is low. With stock market investing, you need to understand when to buy. Their seasons. You need to understand when to buy, when to sell, when to invest, when to come out of the market. Because with MTN shares being 93.10 naira, which is low, some people have bought it for 120 naira. And that means with it being, so in January, they bought it at 120. In March, it's 93 naira. So that means they've lost their investments in it. But I will show you something in the next slide. So I say, okay, because it's an high risk investment, meaning that I could lose all my money. I don't want to put too much. My risk appetite is low. I don't want to put too much money into it. So I say, okay, let me invest 24,000. And 24,000 in the market will buy me 250 MTN shares. Sorry. Okay, so this is So this is like a snapshot of everything I've done so far. So I'll say my savings is 120. So the thing about savings is that let your money work for you. You could say, and savings is really about securing your future, your having something for the future, really. It's about using the money to either get assets for yourself, which will help you generate money for the future. Income generation, that's really what. So your income, your savings is really about the future. What can it do for me? What can it help me secure now that will benefit me in the future? And like I said, so I have my savings, my profit income, which is 90,000. So like I said, I did not put in my money. I was just the middleman between the customers in Nigeria and my hair lady in the US. So I was making just this money, just being the middleman, not even putting any of my own money into it. Sometimes also you start a business and you need to put your money into it. So by the time I was comfortable in the business, I was not able to invest my own money. So that's why I'm able to stock in the business. So you also need to see how it works for you. I could also have just continued being a middleman and continue any money without branding my business. And interest income. So you can see that the interest income is 180. So we earned 1,800. So that means my 72,000 naira is now 73,800. The thing is that 73,800. So that means at the end of, so I use April now. So this April, if they're reinvesting the money for me, it's not 72,000 they're putting into to earn me 10%. It's now 73,800 that is going to earn me 10%. So you can see that your starting point is you're moving. That's really what it is about this type of investment. You're moving. So you're putting your money back and it's building. So by the end of you would see that with 72,000 you started off with, and even the 7,200 that we said you were going to earn, you're going to earn more money, more income from that. Your interest income is going to be higher than that 72,000 we started with, because it's like compounding interest. So that's another thing you need to know about investing. And I also talked about the MTN shares. So the MTN shares that was 93 naira that we bought at the end of, sorry, there's something blocking the screen here. But at the end of the next month, it was 115 naira. So that means it had appreciated. So that means if you want to sell, that means it appreciated. So that means if you want to sell your stock now, you're no longer selling it at the 24,000. You're getting a 4,000 spread on what you have invested to buy the MTN shares. And MTN is just an example. It could be, there are other stocks in the market that you can invest in. And because of the time I bought the MTN shares, MTN also declared a dividend. That means I earned dividend income also. So unexpectedly, it's also the timing of when you invest in the market. I got 1,242 naira in total. So looking at in just a 3-month space, so with my 96,000 invested, I have 5,800. And if we do 5,800, the percentage of 5,800 over 96, you see the interest rates, as in the profit margin you have on it. And it's just a continuous basis. So like I said, income, savings, investment, income, savings, investment. So it doesn't stop there. For the next quarter, you start all over again. Income, savings, investment. And that is how your portfolio grows. And also, like I said, you need to have a purpose. What is really the end game? Why am I saving? Do I want to go to school? Do I want to buy this land? Do I want to buy a car? Really, why are you saving? So it's when you know why you're saving, that's when you know you understand your risk appetite. Then you also know the type of investments you're going to do with that. So I believe, are we all on track? Please say yes if you understand and you're flowing with everything I've been saying. So I understand.
We've been understanding. Yes, we're saying yes.
Yes, we understand. Thank you.
Okay, I want to say something. Sorry, everybody. Please, due to the fact that the Zoom is actually going to log us out soon. If it logs us out, please just log in back. It's okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so um, this slide really talks about, so this is an addition to, there are some times that we need to invest in something. So let's say someone says you should buy a car, you want to buy a car, and you have a good deal to buy the car, and you have a plan. So you say you want to buy the car in December, but you start saving in January. So by January, you know you want to buy a car in December, and you need to let your money work for you. You need to make money, as in generate income for you to be able to afford the car. A lot of what we take, so this capital raising is really ajo. The ajo that most of us we do in the office or we do with our friends. It's an easy way to generate capital, because instead of you using your 50,000 per month based on your arrangements with your group of friends, let's say you are 6 of you and you decide to put in 50,000 for the 6 of you, so that's 300,000. Rather than so if luckily you're going to collect that 300,000 in January, it means that January, and you know the investment you want to put your money in, you're not putting 50,000 into your investment, you're putting 300,000. And with what we had explained, interest rate is, so that 300,000, if you put 300,000 into the mutual funds now, which is a low investment risk, that's 10% of 300,000, which is 30,000. You've gotten 30,000 for, so instead of you putting 50,000 and generating 5,000, you've used the Ajo capital raise and let your money work for you in January. And yes, it's not everybody that will have January or February, March. There are different ways that people pick themselves in the group, with ballot or turn by turn with names and all of that. You just need to understand that, okay, in this month, you're getting this lump sum of money. It's free. There's no interest on it. It's not loan in the bank. What are you going to use this money for? Where are you going to put this money in at this point in time to be able to generate more funds for you? So like for me, when I started sourcing hair myself, I was working my income, but I needed lump sum to be able to